Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another of my LinkedIn Live. Today, I have a very special guest, Jonaed here. Hello, Jonaed. How are you? Happy Friday.
Happy Friday. Hey, Salina. I'm so happy to be on your show.
Same here. I mean, last time I had so much fun at your show, and this time, thank you very much for coming to mine. In fact, we have a little bit of technical issue. I mean, from my end to start this show. But anyway, I'm so glad to have you here today, and we're going to talk about something really close to my heart, which is productivity. And I think we got that wonderful idea from your show last time, Junai.
Yeah, we ended up talking about productivity.
I know, and I love it. So, guys, you know the drill. If you're tuning in from anywhere in the world, please leave us in the comment box below where you're dialing in from. In fact, that you're joining us today, it must be a really happy Friday. And today you're going to get so much amazing nugget from Janai, understanding productivity, because I am also learning. In fact, I'm just like 10 months old as an entrepreneur. So today I'm just really looking forward to have this amazing conversation with you, Janai.
It's been 10 months already?
Productivity.
It's been 10 months already?
10 months, yes, I know, right? And I think when I first started, I know. And when we caught up, like I think it's when I am 1 month or second month in, I forgot. Like I'm just like in a pretty confused stage. Like trying to grow within, understanding, like from the other side as a content creator, how everything works. And you're the one, actually the very first one that welcomed me with open arms, like welcome to the content creator world.
Yeah, it's a interesting and a fun world.
Yes. And when do you started this? I'm actually really intrigued.
So 2019, around February or March, that's when
Okay.
I started being active on LinkedIn. I always had an account. I created my account like 2012, but it was just kind of you check messages here and there. I never really thought of it, thought much of it.
Yeah.
Then for some reason, I know Gary Vee says something about LinkedIn, and then for some reason I read somewhere that organic reach was high on LinkedIn, and it just made sense for my business.
Yeah.
And I took a 100-hour course on Facebook ads before, so mid 2018, end of 2018 I did. And then that helped me understand like algorithms and how social media platform. It gave me a deeper understanding of a lot of things. So then I kind of saw the opportunity on LinkedIn, and I observed like what worked. At that time, video was like a free for all. Like you're gonna see some of the largest people on LinkedIn today. They were lucky that video. I remember I would just make like a random selfie video and it was like 10K views, right? Now it's like you
Yeah.
get 10K views is a lot. So that was the time when video was being promoted and a lot of people took advantage of it and
Yeah.
really jeopardized it. And I think at that time the only two big influencer type people were like Oleg and Bridget, and now a lot of people have sort of taken their place and all that. So that
Yeah.
I didn't post for a couple of months. I didn't post, and I think like I posted something and it did well. It was like a joke, my
Okay.
style,
Yeah.
so
And your community love you for it. Your audience loved it. You're very direct. You're super,
yeah,
super honest. And I absolutely loved it. And I guess that's why we get connected in this way.
yeah. No, I mean it's been a fun journey, and then it's like I meet so many amazing people. Right, you sent me a message and we got on a call, and then it's cool. Like I've seen so many journeys like happen on LinkedIn, and it's cool because it's like I was there, and it's cool seeing people just grow and pursue their dreams.
Absolutely. Yeah. And it's in a way that it's crazy. Like it's like virtually you have a friend
Yeah,
and they watch you grow and we will support each other no matter what, and it's just
yeah,
the beauty of it. Yeah.
yeah. It's cool because it's like, I remember you were telling me, hey, I got a business partner, but he can't announce it, and then you were telling me the
Now I can.
names, and then now you can announce it, and it's just cool. Just
So true. Oh my gosh, your memories is amazing,
no,
Janai.
my
So
memory is bad.
no,
I have good memories
your
with
memory is
people.
good.
So
Okay.
with people, I'm good. Like now, it's like, oh, I gotta check my calendar like 20 times a day because I could have a meeting at 3 and then I'll forget about it at 2:59. So I'm good with
Yeah,
certain things, but yeah, I know where
yeah,
my
yeah.
strengths and weaknesses are.
Yeah, that's why I like Calendarly because they
Yeah,
have it with my text. So right,
yeah,
like 5 minutes or 10 minutes you can set, and then like I was
yeah,
like, okay, 10 minutes and make a coffee. I forgot who I need
yeah.
to meet.
That happens to me all the time. I'll be like, oh, I got a meeting in 5 minutes, then I start answering email, and then all of a sudden I look up, it's like, oh, 3:02.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, cool. So I actually want to ask you because I know you don't have much time, and I want to really get an idea when you started, right? Obviously, Janai, you have been in business. I remember last time you shared with me, it's been like 2 or 3 years now.
Yeah, so I found nodegree.com actually in April 2014, so 7 years of that.
Oh, 7 years.
I
Yeah,
quit my job in 2018, middle of
yeah,
2018. So that's
yeah.
when I did it full time. Because it's a
Yeah,
difference when you do it full time versus,
of course,
trying to squeeze hours at work and after work and all that. So,
of course.
and it's interesting. It's like a lot of the progress and a lot of the monetary gain actually happened in 2020 and 2021. So it does take,
Mm.
obviously if I were to do it again, I could do it much faster, but, it's a learning process and it's not easy.
Absolutely. And that's so true. Like there's different phase, right? And one of the things that I really want to learn from you, I mean, me, myself included, I'm trying to learn so much about productivity because time is the most important thing when
It
it comes
is.
to, being your own boss. There's no other way. There's another boss telling you what to do. There's no accountability partner, as in people telling you like, oh, you got this team members. You basically need to delegate. You need to learn how to map out your time, and each individual of the phase that I talked about earlier is so different. Like when I am 3 months in, it's all about the hustling.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
then
yeah.
6 months in is like you said, branding. You start to get a hang of things, have some aha moment. Maybe now I'm 10 months in, not like booking crazy amount of clients, just
Yeah,
enough for me to add flow. But at the same
yeah,
time, like you said, like only around like I guess 1 or even 2 year mark where you just start to really see it flying.
yeah.
So how do you see productivity as a founder or entrepreneur in the very beginning of the stage? If you can tell yourself
Yeah,
in the beginning, like, haha, no, not Janai. I know
yeah,
you're doing this, but please don't. It will
yeah.
be something that you will talk about.
So productivity, I think the first thing to know is self-awareness is very important when it comes to productivity because we're not good at everything. And
Yes.
people have to accept that they're or if you're even if you're good at everything because you're perfect, not everything impacts you the same way. Some things are more draining than others. Like I hate organizing, like just so much. Right? Like that's why it's like I hate cleaning my room. I hate, that's something I hate, you know? But like I enjoy listening to podcasts. So when I clean my room, I actually listen to podcasts
Love that.
because I can do something. So it's
Balance
about
out.
really understanding how you can save time. Like,
Mm,
I think I'm a genius for this.
mm.
So I brush my teeth in the shower. So, you know,
Me too.
so you know what?
I
Like,
feel so
cause let me
bad
tell you,
about it.
I started that when I used to work corporate because I was late to work every day. So, even
Oh,
so I needed to save time in the morning but I don't want to cut out my shower, so I'd be like, look, 2 for 1, brushing my teeth in the shower. So,
yeah. I think it's
it's
actually the
finding these
best.
little things that like help you be productive. I find that sleep is very important for my level of productivity and for most people. You're going to see that people who don't get sleep, there are some
Yeah.
people who can be productive, but what ends up happening for a lot of people is that they tend to be more irritable, more emotional, more rash, and they don't realize it, but the people around them do, right? They
Yes.
realize that, oh, this person's in a good mood. So I'm able to sort of maintain a good mood pretty much 98% of the time. Or even if something negative has happened to me, people don't know. Or even
Yeah.
if people know, it's just, it doesn't hurt them in the sense of like, I'm not angry towards them, I don't treat them bad.
Yeah, yeah. So I agree what you just said earlier, like getting a sense of, your schedule as well as a hang of what you really like. And if you don't like something, you know how to basically do it in a way that you enjoy it. Like for example, for you is organizing your room
Yeah.
and and doing that. Or doing things more quickly, like showering together with brushing teeth. I'm so glad I find you and you're willing to share that, because
Yeah.
I have been the longest time I don't want to share with people, because my husband originally saying like, why are you bringing a toothbrush in your shower? I was like, because that's fast. And I
Yeah,
have
yeah,
been
yeah.
doing it for years, and I'm so glad, actually, not just
Yeah, I
me, you
brush my
want to
teeth
do
for
it.
longer and I shower,
Yeah,
because I like, it's peaceful being, having the water on you. So it's like,
exactly.
that's why I don't
Yeah.
know, dentist is happy, so
Yeah.
that's
And
important.
I felt extra clean too. You just open
Yeah,
your mouth and there you go. Your water
yeah,
is directly there. Just want to quickly say hi. I'm so sorry, but I guess this is Amar, if I'm not mistaken.
Amir,
Um,
Amir.
Amir, yeah, I closed down all the windows so that I make
Yeah,
sure this is a session uninterrupted. But yeah,
yeah.
Amir, so happy to see you, buddy. Kelly, amazing. Always seeing you. You have just fantastic video today. Great to see you. And Dixon, this is how you guys can be so productive. I
Yeah.
guess it's speaking
But
about the brushing
the
teeth.
the thing is, you have to go through periods of unproductivity to
Yes.
figure out what is your level of productivity, right?
Yes.
To figure out what you're good at, what you're not doing. Because I talk to a lot of people, and they're like, how are you so productive? And it's like, I'm on year 7 of, of this company and this journey, and I'm still figuring things out, right? I still have, room for improvement. And then I tell people there are 4 types of tasks. There are tasks you're good at that you like doing, tasks you're good at that you don't like doing, tasks you're bad at that you like doing, and tasks you're bad at that you don't like doing. So I try to maximize my time and focus on the things that I'm good at that I like doing. So sometimes you may look at, how does someone do this all the time, or how do they do it for so long? It's because they're doing things they're good at that they like doing. It's a very good combo.
Yeah.
Now the other thing is things you're good at that you don't like doing. These are burnout tasks. So you may be able to go 10 hours on something you like doing, but if you're good at it, you don't like maybe 1 or 2 hours and you're done, right? It's super
Yeah.
draining. So, and then the tasks you're bad at that you don't like doing, like you outsource or you get someone else, you strike a deal with someone or whatever, and things you're bad at that you like doing, you improve.
Mhm. Absolutely. So I'm intrigued to know, Jonaed, apart from organizing, which is one of the things that you don't really enjoy doing, so
Yeah.
what else is the task that is burnout task
So,
and you don't really enjoy doing?
uh, let me see. Burnout tasks. So cleaning. I don't know. It's like cleaning my room, organizing. I don't like administrative tasks like checking email. I don't like, yeah, just checking email, going through old messages. Like I don't like uh, those things. It's like really admin, repetitive tasks. The things I enjoy are like talking to people, talking to, working,
Yeah.
impacting people. I like that. I like interaction with people. I like helping people. That's what I like. I'm neither an extrovert nor an introvert. I'm in the middle, ambivert. So I'm flexible in that sense. But it's always good to know what you are and what drains you.
Absolutely. Interesting that you don't enjoy reading emails or checking emails. It's one of the things that I love doing the most. Like by the end of the
Really?
day, if my email inbox, especially on Friday evening, is zero, I feel so good. That feeling is like
No,
the
it's an
best in the
amazing feeling
world.
to get it's an amazing feeling to get rid of. Like right now I'm at like 106 and there's some that I have to. It's just You know what I'm also not good at is mentally organizing things like calendars in my head.
Mhm.
Like I'm terrible. That's why it's like, yeah, we'll do this next. If it's not my calendar, I'm gonna double, triple book myself. Like always happens. So that's why it's like, even with my girlfriend, like I'll put like, oh, this is a block day. Because the thing is, let's say you're like, hey, you want to schedule this live show? And I'll be like,
Yeah,
yeah, let's schedule it that day. I don't see anything on my calendar, so I gotta like put it because I can't. Like I suck at making the mental connection that I have to do something this day or I left that day free. Like there was one time I booked like a resume during a holiday, and
yeah,
of course I'm not gonna push back. I booked it. It was
yeah,
okay, but it was just one of those
yeah.
things. Like I'm terrible at that. So I gotta put like holidays in. I gotta put that. So then I know. Oh, okay. This is why I don't have anything scheduled.
Yeah. Or you can have your VA organizing your entire schedule, basically paying you all the time. But I
Right.
guess it's not what you want, right?
Yeah. I mean,
I'm
Kelly
gonna,
asked.
yeah, I
Yeah.
want to pull up
Yeah. Go
Kelly
ahead. You asked that.
question for you. Yeah. When do you tackle the most energy consuming task, which I think we mentioned a little bit, but I guess we can chime in more. Beginning of the day or towards the end of the day? Great
For
question.
for me personally, I do it at the end of the day.
Mm,
But I also tend to wake up later. So what my beginning of the day is like, oh, answer this message, answer this email. It's all so my beginning of the day is a little hectic. So I do it at the end of the day. But I also do it when I have pockets of free time, right? So
mm,
I squeeze it in the middle. Sometimes like what I do is energy consuming tasks like clean my room. What I may do is in blocks of time, so maybe 5 to 10 minutes. So it's not really beginning of the day or towards end of the day. I try to set out blocks of times that make sense. Or I do it in between. So if someone misses a meeting with me, I don't mind because it's like, all right, I can go check email or I can go get this done. So I'm like all over the place. I'm sorry that's not helpful for you, Kelly, but that's what works for me.
That's no problem. I know Kelly so much. In fact, I just grabbed a coffee with Kelly today in Luxembourg. I'm very glad that she can dial in today because I know it's Friday night. I don't know whether Kelly needs to take care of her cutie Amelia. But anyway, I like that you mentioned it should be the end of the day. I would also look at whether that task is really important task that you need to
Yeah,
prioritize in finishing that day. If it is not, you can break it into different chunk. Then it seems like not very energy consuming. For example, 2 weeks ago, I need to build sort of
yeah,
like an email sequencing. I
yeah, yeah.
absolutely hate this shit. Sorry by my French. And it spent me hours and hours and hours in doing it. And one day I realized, why do I do it in one day?
Yeah,
Because it's a time consuming. To your point, it's burn out type of task. You just get slower and slower because you just hate it. And then one day I was like, why don't I just do one email at a time? Maybe it's not as efficient as batching, but it's actually work. It's much more
yeah,
efficient. And I get done like within 3 days.
yeah,
So glad you asked, Kelly. Hope that it's helpful. Oh,
yeah.
she,
And
she
you bring up a great point that you got to figure out what works for you because batching does work for a lot of people. But for you in that case, batching does not work, right? It doesn't work. And I find that you shouldn't fight yourself, right? Be
yes,
uncomfortable, step out of your comfort zone, but don't fight. Like when you have to drag your own feet to do something, there's a reason why, right?
yeah,
So like for example, like I don't for my LinkedIn content, I don't batch it. Like I write it on the spot. Um, I just write a little note somewhere. And
sure,
it's like, and then I
absolutely.
pull from a list of things where some people batch because their schedules
I
they need
bet.
to do their creativity. But me, it's like I don't batch, and I don't tell people you have to do it this way. So that's another thing, is filtering advice. I think helps my productivity because I listen to things that I know will work for me, and I don't focus on the things that won't work for me.
Yeah, I love that. And that's basically bring back to your initial point, right? Something that you love, you can know how to organize around it, but really focusing on some of the tasks that you don't love and think about solution or ways to basically work around it to make it much efficient. And I absolutely love that you brought up the point for content, right? It doesn't work. It might work for one person and it doesn't work for another person. For example, I think I'm a very creative person, but when it comes to when it comes to sitting down, knowing that I really want to post that day, I just get chicken out. I will have brain for a
Yeah.
fog and I can't think about what to write. Despite I know like, okay, I know this topic so well, but I just couldn't write it. And so I think action content helps me so much when it comes to these type of days where just horrible days that I have brain fog.
Yeah. No, I mean I know what you mean. It's just you gotta stick to what works for you. It's just I know I keep repeating that, but in this age, what happens is you see so much online, and what the category is called, like the hustle porn, right? Where it's like, oh,
Yeah.
wake up at 6 a.m. For some people that makes sense, but for me, that's not gonna work, and I'm comfortable
Yeah.
with that. And then the other thing is, I typically don't get into debates on like why it works for me, because look, I know why it works for me, and it's like I don't have to prove, right? Not that I'm not open to feedback. I'm always open to feedback, but I also have to get feedback from the right person, like someone who knows me and knows how I work. That's why it's like I make sure I get feedback from my business partners, my employees, because they interact with me, they know what I'm good at, and then I take their feedback, and then that helps me improve myself.
Absolutely. Couldn't agree more. I like that. I like that point so much. And it's tough though sometimes receiving feedback. I think you take it obviously really, really well. I know some people don't.
Selena, so you were kind of breaking up, would you say? Now you're good.
Yeah, sorry. I
It's
don't
all right. Now
know.
you're good though.
Okay, we have the biggest rainstorm
Yeah.
today in
Yeah.
Luxembourg, and me and my husband is working at home. I'm just basically we're shouting at each other,
Yeah.
not in a bad way. It's like, can you shut off the Wi-Fi for me just for a second? I have LinkedIn Live, and then for him it was like, I have this call with clients. Can you just shut it off? Because I don't know
Yeah.
whether
Yeah.
you can see it, but it's like raining like crazy outside, and yeah, Kelly might know the situation. But anyway, no, I want to brought up the point that you talk about feedback. I think receiving feedback is some of the things that it's kind of difficult for entrepreneur. I know it's a little bit like another
Yeah.
direction with productivity, but I'm getting to it because sometimes I felt like you it's great that you're open about feedback, but not all the time when there's feedback that is not actually helpful for your business.
Yeah.
You end up doing all these things, running like this hamster wheel without actually knowing what's your priority, and then you do all these things that is actually not helping your bottom line of your business. That's something that I do want to put a pin and remind people that yes, it's good to listen feedback, but doesn't mean that you need to execute it right away.
Yeah, and sometimes the feedback is you've got to work on what what's right for you, because there are probably 100 things you need to do right now,
Yes.
right, to improve your life, to improve your future. But the fact is, you don't need to do all 100 things, and you don't need to do them all right now. Even if you choose, it's better to get like 5 to 10 of them done as opposed to focusing on 100 things and not getting any of them done.
Yes, absolutely. So, what do you think about multitasking? Because, Janai, obviously, for me, I still remember when I was in high school or university, I take so much pride on multitasking.
Yeah.
And now I realize it's so not true. You should
Yeah.
only focus like three or maybe five tasks maximum that
Yeah.
day. It should be get done. How
Yeah.
do you
No,
feel about that?
I agree. Multitasking is inefficient. That's why any job posting that says multitasking is a priority is just shows that they don't know how to manage, and they don't know that people don't work that way, because there's something called attention residue, and it's
Mm,
the ability to move from one task to the next. And the thing is, when you move to the next task, your mind still, I think, is on the old task. I forgot, from 8 to 15 minutes, something like that. So
oh,
when you keep
really?
on switching, it's just not efficient, right? It's better to just focus on. Imagine I was like, oh, let me go check LinkedIn, let me go check Instagram, let me go check this, and then I'll quickly go through it. It's like, it just makes sense to focus on, batch how you sort of do things. It's just how it is, because if you keep switching, your mind is in different modes. It's like trying to, jog and sprint at the same time, and it's like
Yeah,
it just ends up being super exhausting, and you don't get as much result, right? So
yeah,
multitasking is something you got to just be careful of. It is tough, and the other thing is if you do have to multitask, like for example, we do have to multitask during these live streams, right? We have to look at the comments, we have to make sure, we have to check that, hey, we're on schedule. But again, it's one of those things that you get better at. But ideally, if you have a task, it's just better to focus and be fully present in the task so that
Yes.
you can be 100% and you can get the best, possible output.
Love that. Absolutely love that. And Janai, speaking of tasks, I like that you even give the data. You said 15 minutes, is it? I'm definitely
Something
going
like
to
that.
call on you on that. How do you feel about taking breaks in between tasks? Because
No,
I
I
used
think
to, mm-hmm, tell me.
it's so good because they have something called a Pomodoro technique or something. I've heard of something like that.
Yeah.
Breaks are important because it's like we're not machines. Even
Mm-hmm.
machines overheat, right? You think about your computer, right? It overheats. It needs a fan. You need that. There's something also called decision fatigue, where it's
Mm,
like there's a limited number of decisions you can make in a
yes.
day, right? Making too
Yeah.
many decisions. That's why it's like, hey, it is good to offshore some tasks and off because of the mental energy.
Yeah.
So, and the thing is, what helps recover decision fatigue is like food, sleep, taking a break, and it makes such a big difference. It's like you want to make sure that you take these breaks because think about like a tough conversation. Sometimes you just need a break because then you're reactive and you're not as quick. You need to just slow down. I think like as entrepreneurs, right? Life is fast. Things are moving fast. You got to do things fast, but sometimes it's good to just slow down,
Slow down.
take it easy, and be okay because it's like again, your business is not going to crumble if you slow down a little, right? Don't go
So
too slow and not do any work, but it's okay to sort of mix up the speeds and be in a place that you're comfortable with.
I agree. And sometimes it's good to take slower, making huge decision or decision that actually matters so much for your business and not rushing it through.
Yeah.
So true about the decision fatigue. I actually learned about that term like 4 weeks ago from another on my show guest, and I was like, okay, I need to Google that. That is interesting. Learning a lot, and now I understand that each day I'm making so much decision, but you can slow down and make the decision next day.
Yeah, and especially the point about take your time with big decisions. Like some big decisions, you make them and you'll get impacted for years, right?
Yeah.
Just because you didn't slow down, you didn't think, you didn't analyze, right? Obviously, for small things like what are you going to eat, you can make a quick decision. Unless you have like you're pre-diabetic like me, like I gotta kind of make sure I gotta be kind of smart about it, and I can't just eat whatever. But you want to be smart about the decisions you make because again, it goes back to productivity. All these decisions they impact your productivity, and it can be very draining to be an entrepreneur. It's not easy. It's not for anyone. So you want to make sure that if you are an
Yes.
entrepreneur, that you are as productive. And the thing is, there are sometimes that you have to work a lot, or if you hopefully you get to a point where you don't have to work a lot and you have a good team and you just
Hmm.
are in a business that is have has those margins. But if you're not, you want to make sure that you're productive and you're managing people, because the other thing about productivity is the people around you suffer when you're not productive. And what does that mean? It's that my my workers tell me that I'm one of the best bosses they ever had. And why is that? Because I'm always in a good mood, I listen, and I do that. Whereas, look, if I wasn't getting sleep, if I was irritated all the time, and if I was snapping at them, I could not be, right? It impacts their level of productivity. So it's like you got to make sure you take care of yourself.
Absolutely. And that's like the morale. Like, I think high productivity equals to very good quality team morale as well, like to your point, right? And you actually as a perfect model for them to learn and follow how productivity works within an organization or within a company or within a startup. I think that's like basically a role into everyone's role. If as a boss, as a leader of and organization, they look up to you for different things, right? So couldn't agree more. And I just want to quickly say thank you for Sunday for joining. What a great name, right? I love Sunday always chiming in. That's right, Janai. Sunday said, I can resonate with that. Multitasking can be draining. Absolutely. And Christopher, so good to see you. Hello,
So Christian
everybody.
is my business partner. He's one of the
Oh,
so he's one of the
okay.
most productive guys I know. So I learn a
Amazing.
lot from him, and any big decisions I always consult with him.
Oh, fantastic. So tell me why you think Chris is so productive. I
Well,
need to learn.
he's had several businesses. He
Hmm.
knows what he's good at. He has a lot of experience, and he's very calm and level-headed. And he comes with a very good perspective that really takes into account a lot of things. And again, very easy to work with. And I think being
Amazing.
easy to work with helps productivity because you don't end up blocking yourself. I've worked with people who were not easy to work with, and what I find out is they do a lot, but they don't get much done, right? And it's because a lot of times they're blocking
Yeah.
themselves
Yeah.
from being more productive, right? We're our own worst enemy when it comes to productivity. So it's like I find that once you remove the barriers from yourself, you start removing the barriers from those around you. So and Chris is very good at doing that.
Amazing. Wow, Chris, I'm so glad you're joining our live, and we need to. I need to ask you for next time for a guest to learn more deep dive in productivity. But so good to meet your business partner, Janai,
Oh,
and
we never met in person.
oh,
I
you
met
and
him. I met.
Chris.
Yeah, I met
No
him on LinkedIn.
way.
I met him on
That
LinkedIn.
is so magical.
It is
Wow.
magical.
The trust. Look at that
Trust.
trust.
Yeah, yeah,
I mean, me and my team as well. Again, we're just 10 months old. I have my partner. Obviously, I have met him in Hong Kong because we used to
yeah,
work together. My VA is based in the Philippines. Never met her, and two
yeah,
more. One actually based in the state for content strategist, and another
yeah,
video and audio content creator. She's joining from the
yeah,
UK. Never met them too. And this is the beauty of this world, right? Right
yeah,
now, like social media, all these
yeah,
technology allow us to work, with miles, without any limitation with geographically. So I'm
yeah.
so
Yeah,
glad.
we met on LinkedIn Live.
No
I meet
way.
the best people through my LinkedIn lives.
Oh my goodness. Wait, now we need to know the story. Sorry, it's like,
No,
well,
I used to go live, and then he was
yeah.
like, "Yo, that's cool," and then we just had a call, and he was like in the process of transitioning kind of thing, and then he was starting his business, and then you know
Amazing.
eventually we just things worked out, and now we have a virtual events company. So it's just ironic that we met
Wow.
virtually and we have a virtual events company.
Oh my gosh, absolutely loved it. And then Dixon, I actually got connected with him like virtually face to face. And Dixon is from a magazine and based in Ireland. I met him through Clubhouse. So I mean, again, the
Oh
virtual
yeah,
world, beautiful. Dixon said, "Truth, working together, anytime, anywhere." Love, 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 love that. Um, Yeah. Oh, and Cole is here too. Hi. Hello. Good
hey
day to
Cole.
you, Cole. Cole, good to see you and happy Friday. Yeah. So, actually, I know we're soon in time. Janai, I want to quickly pick your brain on time blocks because
Yeah,
just 2 or 3 months ago, I had this aha moment. I was like, why am I opening my work schedule freely for people to book?
yeah,
Originally, like obviously we talk about that, right? We need to have the hustle phase. We need to basically be a little bit more like I'm here, I'm open to have a conversation. We can have a chat. And now I realize I'm at one point that my schedule is really not
yeah,
working 2 months ago. And then I start blocking out times like, oh, this is my self time,
yeah.
just about business, and it helps so much. How do you come to this point, or actually, in the very beginning, you're already like, I need time block.
Yeah, you know what? When I work corporate, like
Mhm.
I always valued sleep, and I always valued being able to have time just for things I enjoy. So that's how I kind of did it because obviously I've had those times where you keep on taking a lot of meetings. But trust me, the thing is, if you have a lot of meetings and then you have fire drills, it's like a terrible day. So you always want to have some free time because things happen, things come up. Like, for example, we had this live and, we couldn't schedule it right away. And then we met for, if I booked meetings back to
Straight.
back, I wouldn't be able to, right, do
Yeah.
that. Now, it's like if you have those times free, you can push things around, you can do that because as an entrepreneur, flexibility is important. And then Chris has a good thing where he does meetings only 3 days a week. He does production 2 days a week, right? And we try to stick to that because it's just like it's so much easier that the time
Yes.
blocks they again it's like you and you're more strategic, hey, I'm going to do this for 10, 20, 30, 40 minutes and that's it, and then outside of that I have more flexibility, and then because when you're specific in that time frame you're more intentional and you just get so much more done.
Absolutely. Couldn't agree more. And now I felt so happy about my weekly schedule as well as monthly. Like I said earlier, right? Jana, I batch content. So
Yeah,
at the end of the month or the beginning of the month, like first or the 30th or the 31st, depending on the month, then that will be my content batching day. And then whereas for week, I like what Chris have, like 3 days for meeting. I think depending on the business as well, which that works really well for your
yeah,
business. NoDegree.com plus other Chris business, and then production for 2 days, right? So
yeah.
I think that's really really efficient. And let's go to my next point about how do you
Yeah.
feel about 4-day work week? Because it has
Oh,
been
I'm a big fan. I'm a big
a trend.
fan. I'm a
Tell me,
big fan. Let me
tell
tell
me
you, if
about
I
that.
had a 4-day work week, I think I would have been so happy because I would have got like 3 days of like actual like sleep where I don't care about. Uh, I'm a big fan of it. Obviously, I can't do it for myself for some time. Right, as an entrepreneur, you always kind of have to handle business
Yeah,
things, but I want to get to a point in my business where, like, when I have it, 4-day work week, like, honestly, because they do a lot of studies and people are only working like 3 4 hours a day, right? They're doing other things and then they're in useless meetings and all that, so it's like I'm gonna do
yeah,
it like in my business, no PowerPoints. Like, I know Amazon does it. It's like, look, just put it on a sheet of paper. You don't have to worry about fonts and colors, at least for internal meetings. External is different, but I find a lot of time people are just trying to make certain people happy, and it's like, you don't need
yeah.
that. Let's get to the
True,
core of what we're
true.
looking for.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Especially internally, it's just a waste of time. Like, why do you
Yeah,
make it so glamorous and fancy? Or you actually tell us like this is the agenda and that's it, right?
yeah.
Get to it.
Yeah,
Couldn't
keep
agree
it
more.
chicken scratch as long as people understand.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And I like 4-day work week is in your list. It has been also in my mind too. And I remember reading something. I think it's an idea from Scandinavia. I think in
Okay.
Sweden or something. They are pushing it out like as like a law where the government will support them if a company are doing it
That's
for four.
amazing.
Yeah, that's like really really amazing. I was like, whoa, this is cool. And
Yeah.
whereas vice versa, I saw Japan,
Yeah.
where like people are working like 4 7 days. That's like normal. And
Yeah.
if they offer six, then the government will be like, "Oh, this is good,"
Yeah. 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 No,
remember
hey.
about mental health, things
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
that. So they happen to have another fun implementation is where they got to sleep at the office
Yeah.
in the middle and for a nap. That's like the
That's amazing.
productivity. Yes.
Let me tell you, one thing I'm gonna implement is if there's a
Um,
work meeting and you're sleepy, fall asleep. Because let me tell you, I've never got, in every work meeting I was like, and I couldn't fall asleep because I'd get in trouble. But I know if I fell asleep, it would be the best sleep of all time. So when I have a job, if they're that tired, it's okay. I understand.
All right, sounds good. I know we're time, Janai. It has been amazing to have you, and just want to say thank you again, Christopher Cole Dixon, spending your Friday lunchtime, maybe in the U.S. or on night with us in Luxembourg in Europe. Kelly, Supam, I think that's Amir earlier, and Dixon. Everybody joining us, and please, please, please connect with Janai because Janai have the best post, trust me, best energy, and have been running his own live show every week. Please go and connect with him. You can just basically drop him a DM. He's so open to have a chat with you with
Yeah.
open arms.
Open
Yes.
arms. Open arms.
Yes, open arms. And have a great, happy Friday ahead, Janai. It's so nice to have you
All right.
today. Look forward
Yeah, we'll
to
do this
chatting
again.
with
We'll
you.
do this again,
Yes,
and it'll
please.
be longer. And next time, I'm not gonna book any meetings for like 3 hours afterwards, so we can go as long as
I
you want.
felt so bad. But anyway, I'm going to check and dig down what exactly is the issue. But thank you
All right.
again for the flexibility and look forward to having more collaboration with you,
All right.
Janelle.
Definitely. Have a good one, Selena.
Bye.
Bye bye.